Sentry360's corporate headquarters is in Chicago. We have another office in Dubai and another one in Istanbul. And overall, we have 12 years of research and development experience of software and hardware PCB development as well. We're happy to be helping the security industry learn more about this technology. So what are the top 3 requirements for body-worn camera technology? The first one is that it needs to be very easy to use. This is something that's going to be going with you. It's going to be attached to your body if you're a user of it. And you need to have a simple 1-button push to record and a simple 1-button push to stop recording. And there are options with the camera technology. You can push the button and it be a silent only vibrate recognition of that command. And then users want to be able to retrieve that video and access that evidence in a very simple way. So there's a scalable docking solution where you can simultaneously power and automatically upload that evidence to a secure file structure for storage, either on-premise or in the cloud. There are options there. And it's very, very easy for a basic user to operate the camera. Infrared is automatic. So if you go into a pitch black scenario, automatically the IR kicks in. It will detect and record audio synchronized with the video. You can also just do audio recording on the fly. And we're going to really break down all of the characteristics of how this is kind of like the surveillance pro's Swiss Army knife type of device. Another reason people need and use body wearable technology is to have it be secure. This inevitably is a edge secure data capturing device. That's what body wearables are. They're supposed to be secure and encrypted at the edge, so users can be assured that no hackers can infiltrate their storage. The videos cannot be. You can review the video clips from the back of the camera and see all the files and the recordings, but any individual user carrying a SentryMobile device cannot alter or delete them. And they also are AES 256-bit encrypted at the edge. So they need to be in a secure capturing device as well. So they need to be rugged, they need to be drop resistant, and they need to withstand all different degrees of environments. And so it is IP67 rated. That is a full submerged, and you can drop it up to 8 feet. We've had people actually throw it through a 10-foot basketball hoop and it be absolutely fine. But basic is 8 feet is the standard. So these are designed to last the test of time. Designed to be working and operating in extreme environments. So now we are going to take a poll, and so I'm going to launch my first poll. Have you ever used body-worn camera technology? The simplest question we could ask, but we want to get to know you. Because this technology is so new, we really want to know who has used this before, who has not used this before. So we're going to keep the poll open for less than a minute. Okay, 15%. I'm sorry, 74% have voted so far. 79% have voted. Please keep them coming. Okay, I'm going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing the poll, and 84% of all live attendees have voted, and the results are in. 88% of you have not ever used a body-worn camera before. So that is really awesome, and we're happy to have you learn a little bit about our breed of technology, and 13% have. So I think a lot of the content that we have in the following slides is going to also help those users who have had experience in other body wearable technology. And for those of you who are new to this, we're really excited to help you. So, we're going to start by talking again about what are body-worn cameras, but we're going to answer that question by also saying what they are absolutely not. Body-worn cameras are not a cell phone. It is not an action camera. It is not a consumer handheld recording device. Body wearables are designed to capture critical evidence. They are watermarked. They are rugged. They are reliable. You cannot edit, delete, extract the storage at all from the body-worn cameras, from the SentryMobile cameras. You cannot pop out an SD card. They are literally embedded internal memory. So if you record secure devices, that it follows an entire secure chain of custody, which we are also going to break down for those of you new to body-worn. What is secure chain of custody? We're going to have a few minutes that we discuss that. But these are designed to be mobile, high-performing, varying degree of IR illuminations and all-weather applications that you can take with you to capture evidence and forensic information. They are also not an IP camera, and so for those 88% of you that did say yes, I have 88% of you that have not used a body-worn camera. Probably the majority of those people have used video surveillance cameras. So this is not a network surveillance camera. Over 90% of body-worn camera applications are not streaming video at all. That is going to change, I think, as this technology evolves over the years, and we're going to have some announcements around that towards the end of 2016. But for all intent and purposes, this is securely recorded at the edge, securely deposited into a storage bank, and uploaded throughout a secure storage filing system, which we are also going to really detail out for you. So this is not a device that's constantly streaming through the internet. This is not something that's also plugged into a network at all. So please separate a body-worn camera technology from what you're thinking of is compared to an IP video surveillance solution. So, this is something, we really invested a ton of time and dollars into entering the body-worn market. And being a camera technology software company for the better part of a decade, we had to really examine the market as it was. So we started really doing market analysis and testing and before really even launching into full R&D, really in 2013. And we looked at the market and we saw who kind of the key players were, and none of them really had a video or security or even surveillance background in their development history, and very few of them had imaging or optics experience as well. So there's a few players in the market that are really leading the pack right now. We are not one of them yet, but the ones that are have a history in law enforcement, but they're making stun guns, they're making bulletproof vests, they're making armed guns. So the body-worn market was really kind of born out of the law enforcement market vertical. So the same vendors that were creating all these other tools for law enforcement now created a body-worn camera. So if you think about it from the video surveillance industry, that kind of sounds a little bit nuts, because most video surveillance cameras are not making body-worn cameras and are not investing in this market. So way before we even got into R&D, we did a market analysis and said, listen, we should really be paying close attention to this, because there's an incredible opportunity for a manufacturer that has expertise in optics, forensics, and video and software compression to make a splash in this vertical. And so that's what we're trying to do now. And so I really want to talk about kind of who are the top players in this market and compare them to us. All right. And so again, in analyzing this market, we were shocked for coming from the video surveillance world, where you have network cameras recording to a network video recorder. Very, very few, as you video surveillance users know, very few applications are actually sending high resolution, especially megapixel video to the cloud, that's just an incredible expense. It's an incredible amount of bandwidth, and in practice, it just doesn't happen often. And so we were very surprised that some of the market leaders not only have full storage in the cloud, but force the users. They force all of the end users to store all of the video in the cloud. You cannot, with some other of our competitors, actually have on-premise recording accessible. And so they lock up your storage and then they give you access to it. And so we've designed a solution that allows on-premise storage that's accessible and shareable with anyone who is the end user who is within the authorization of the software configuration. We have flexible packages at scale. You can get a 5-camera system or a 5,000 camera system that scales with storage requirements that do not require any monthly recurring costs. And we also have an open architecture philosophy. So we, having almost a decade of experience in the video surveillance ecosystem, we've accumulated some really close partnerships over the years with video analytic companies, with storage companies, and with video surveillance software companies. And so over the coming months, you are going to see very exciting new partnership releases that blend SentryMobile into an overall ecosystem with third-party applications of software and hardware. And so we are really going to take the same mantra, the same business model that we've had with our video surveillance cameras, making them open architecture and interoperable between third-party solutions. We're going to do the same thing with body-worn cameras as well. So one of the main things that I really want every attendee to walk away with today is that a body-worn camera can and should be an extension to any fixed video surveillance system. Quite simply, a body-worn camera can see things your fixed video surveillance cameras cannot. And so people with having security guards or employees and staff, they should all have an accessible body-worn camera to reactively go where they need to capture evidence, take pictures, or take video of anything, anywhere, at any time. And inherently, a fixed video surveillance system, in the name fixed, has limitations. And so we think that body wearables should be an extension to any existing video surveillance solution. And it's a very cost-effective extension. So if you're a system integrator and you're thinking about your existing customers out in the field, this is a really great add-on. This is potentially even a great upsell to an enterprise-class video surveillance solution, to have these on hand that can be turned on at will and be used in any applications. So I'm starting to see some questions and hand raises come in, and I forgot to say we will be answering all questions. I will try my best to get to all of them at the end after we give you our gift. And we're going to be answering some questions live on the webinar. But if I don't get to your questions, every single question will be in writing, in email, or over the phone talked through. So please feel free to submit your questions throughout the course of the webinar. So other areas, what are some other applications for body-worn cameras? We see the next 5 years. Law enforcement has obviously had a big boom, but we see over the next 5 years non-law enforcement applications starting to materialize in a major way. Some of the big, if I really kind of give you a sneak peek into we've been doing body-worn for about 5 months. We've released our first product 5 months ago at ISC West this year. Our sales pipeline, our biggest opportunities in our sales pipeline for body-worn cameras are non-law enforcement applications. Quality control, obviously commercial security guards, fire, EMT, transportation individuals and facilities. Because remember, these body wearables can be also mirrored as a dash cam. We have an accessory mount that you can mount it to the dashboard of your camera or the window of your vehicle as well. And it's an easy way to take that evidence with you. You can have it in your vehicle, or you can strap it to your body as you go. So we're seeing an emergence in non-law enforcement applications in quality control and compliance. We are seeing some really exciting opportunities. We're seeing some private organizations that are in the health or on the food development and processing plants that are thinking about and starting to pilot body-worn cameras as an extra level of service to offer their customers for quality control and compliance. Think about inspectors, building inspectors. These are all different market verticals that we see are emerging markets. None of this is regulated, and these are, you're not even really seeing industry and analyst reports on body-worn yet. I mean, please go try Google. Find major, meaningful body-worn camera analyst reports. There's not a lot of them because it's such a new emerging market that even in law enforcement, there's very little statistics on the growth trajectory. But from what we're seeing in the market, it's an amazing jump. It's amazing excitement, and it's a very low-cost, high ROI solution to deliver. And so now let's kind of turn the page and see how people are going to be using these, how non-security, non-law enforcement folks are going to be using body wearables. They're going to be using them for as a training and teaching tool, to record voice interactions, for customer service, for a fire department can use these for training, a SWAT team can use these for training. Anyone in the field that has a job duty that they need to be out moving around, interacting with people, this is a device that can help with training your staff, training your employees on what to do and what not to do. Process improvement. Every single business that I know, including my own, is always focused on improving their process. And so we're seeing body wearables creating content to improve organizations, the way they run their operation, the way they run manufacturing, the way they run quality control, in a variety of different other applications. So we are getting infiltrated almost by inspectors that want to use these out in the field to do quality control of food processing, to want to inspect buildings in a variety of different other applications. These are a very easy to use, long-lasting device that can capture secure evidence that is unquestionable because of its cyber security and encryption, as well as its watermarking. Taking a cell phone video can be edited, can be manipulated, can be hacked, can be deleted. A body-worn camera cannot. So liability coverage, in virtually any application you can think of, liability coverage is a major ROI and use case of body-worn cameras, and then compliance and inspection we've talked about as well. So these and many, many more are reasons why users are going to, benefits that users are going to get out of non-law enforcement body-worn cameras, and these are something that we really urge everyone to educate themselves on so that they can continue to drive value to their customers. So now we're going to take another poll, and this should be a quick one. And so let's go. If you had to pick one outside of law enforcement, what market do you feel would benefit most from body-worn cameras? So let's pick that. I'm going to launch it, and here you go. Give you a few more seconds for everyone to respond. We got about 25% now have voted, 30% have voted. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to keep it open for about 5-10 more seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm closing the poll right now, and I'm going to share the poll. And so 13% picked healthcare, 6% picked transportation, 6% quality control compliance, 56% picked security guards, and 19% fire EMT. I mean, absolutely. There's so many different, side divisions of what a security guard is. There's a there's municipalities, there's a campus, a university security guards. There's all different. There's entertainment, sports facilities. So there's kind of a lot of verticals built into security guards, and we're seeing that a lot as well from users. So thank you very much. Okay, so now why is SentryMobile? So why SentryMobile? We're going to kind of get into the context of why this technology is unique to us and what we do to differentiate ourselves from the competition. So first and foremost, this is designed by surveillance experts. We've been developing video surveillance camera technology and software for the greater part of a decade. So we have very strong familiarity with IP67, 68, IK10 drop testing. We even do, we have our own heating and temperature cooling chamber where we test different products in different temperatures. And we do our own in-house pre-certification IP67 test, because when you take a product and you go to CE, FCC, or UL, you have one shot to pass it, and if you don't pass it, you have to pay for the test again. And every test for every certification can cost anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000. So we do a lot of these certifications built in-house, and we have a long track record and experience of quality. So we are also one of the very few body-worn camera developers that are creating a open platform solution. So from storage companies to third-party, getting evidence working and enabling through different video management software companies and sharing that evidence is also a part of our business model as well. And I think compared to the market, because we have a flexible on-premise plan, we really have an advantage against some of our competitors that are forcing users into multi-year contracts with recurring revenue. And in the several years that we evaluated the market, we also got an opportunity to talk to a lot of law enforcement agencies. And unfortunately, there was a lot of reactive buying to body-worn camera when a few initiatives came out, and some of the things happened in the United States that we've all know of and have heard on the news. There was a lot of reactive purchasing to body-worn, and unfortunately, some of these municipalities and law enforcement agencies were locked into multi-year contracts they cannot afford after a few years. So in our testing and experience, we were very happy to be able to have a few law enforcement volunteer consultants that helped us to create some of the features you're seeing on the screen right now. So they said and told us you need to have this work with two-way radio solutions. So you can wire any kind of two-way radio and do, instead of having a separate mic, the body-worn camera can be your microphone connected to your two-way radio and do full push-to-talk. So there's your push-to-talk button. Stop and start recording. Again, when you push record, you can have it be a sound that verifies that command, or you can go into silent, or we call it stealth mode, and it vibrates. So when it vibrates when it starts, it vibrates when you stop as a verification of that button push. Now there is a mechanical design here that is by design. You cannot drop the camera and it automatically turns off. So so once you push the record button, there is a divot, so you need to push it with intent so that it is turned on and off. You can just do audio voice recording, so you can do on-the-spot interviews or on-the-spot, audible detailing of what you're seeing, and just have an audio file as well. You can take snapshots with photo bursts. So if you're coming up to a car, you need to take a picture of a license plate or damaged or something vandalized. You need to track, have photographic evidence of that. You can have a photo burst or individual, image up to 16 megapixels. So this is your push button. You can even do that while you're recording video as well. So on the back of the camera, so this is a very, very important component that we see not everyone in this market doing a good job at. Recently, there was another horrible tragedy in the United States, and it was not caught on body-worn camera, even though the officer was wearing one, because when they got into the struggle, the physical struggle, the body-worn camera fell right off, off their uniform. And so you need to have very adjustable, very secure clips that meet different demands of uniform or regular street clothes. We have harnesses, we have straps, we have rigid clips, a variety of different accessory options that all can be connected right here to mount and place that camera securely so it doesn't fall off. This is where you would put in your input to the walkie-talkie or a headphone system. You do have a laser light. We're seeing a lot of SWAT team members enjoy that in complete darkness. There is a playback screen, so you can actually play video and audio and see what was recorded right on the device itself. You can also plug this device directly into an HDMI monitor and view it and see all the different recordings through a monitor. And you can also connect it to USB for power or securely transferring that to a file storage system. But you do have to have authorization, which I'm going to get into in a few minutes here with our software. Settings control buttons are there as well. So, I'm going to take a break for a second, and I am going to show you. Let's get into the video. Let's have a video break. So this is a video showing a variety of different applications. It's about 1.5 minutes long. Again, if you do not like gunfire, if you do not like loud noises, please adjust your volume controls accordingly. So here we go.
Grab him by the beard, make sure he doesn't fall. Grab him by the beard. That might give him a headache. Alright, get your game fingers on it.
Okay, so there may have been a little bit of a frame rate delay. I am seeing on my screen full 30 frames per second synchronized with the audio, but unfortunately this is a webinar WebEx and you are limited to their bandwidth pipe capacity. If anyone wants to see the video you just saw in real time, we can email it directly to you or send you a link. So please just send that in the comments, or you can raise the question, and we're happy to share any video. So let's get into talking about how we're managing all this data. And so the key is creating a metadata system and a secure and continuing that secure file storage with the software that manages that critical evidence that the body-worn cameras are recording. So when the cameras are docked into the station, this entire software is completely registered to every docking station so that it goes, it is securely uploaded to a file structure. When an individual puts in a docking station, every camera is identified with every individual using it. So I can't go, these are all custom fields, but so you can create customization with this, but for all intent and purposes, if I'm working with Joe today on the job, and we take our body-worn cameras, and I say, hey, Joe, mine's not working. Can I borrow yours today? And I go and upload it. If I don't have the right code that verifies my use, my identity with that device, it will not upload. So this is a secure file structure with software that uploads that footage, and it is assigned, and it can be assigned specifically to individuals. So again, every single field is a custom field within SentryMobile Evidence Manager. Here's where you would review, edit, share, and download different audio files. So there is an audio file structure as well in Evidence Manager. And here's where you would share your video and categorize it. Now, when you categorize video, we have special custom fields for law enforcement, so they can categorize them by different incidents that are based on their jurisdiction. So, for example, this is a piece of evidence that is a 5-minute clip that is evidence on January 27th, 2016, and it's a DUI. So you can put in all that metadata as you're reviewing and managing these clips to share them with different individuals. They can share them with the district attorney's office. They can share them interdepartmental. And all of that metadata is tagged to the individual clips as well. So there's a lot more to learn about SentryMobile Evidence Manager, but essentially what it is a easy-to-use, scalable, secure evidence video filing structure that adds metadata, encrypts that data, and then allows multiple people to share and access it and access it from whoever is responsible per that jurisdiction. So some of the storage options, so these are scalable 10-port solutions. So these are rack mountable. You can put these in a closet. You can put these in a rack. You can put these in a shelving unit as well, so they're easily accessible to all of the users. You can have storage options from 30, 60, or 90 days or even longer. Some jurisdictions need to have certain video clips retained indefinitely. So if there's a major prosecution or a specific classification of evidence, there's some situations that need to have evidence stored indefinitely. And so what we recommend is a specific file structure that is all networked within Evidence Manager to put the right evidence in the right location file structures for long-term retention. So all of this is quite frankly customizable with storage and with software, and we have a lot of storage partners that you can buy storage from as well, and again, ask us if you need storage recommendations and calculations. We're happy to do that. Here are some general specs. So 1080p 60 frames per second is approximately 1 gig an hour. Okay, so each device has a minimum of 32 gigs on it, so you can have up to 32 hours recorded. An average shift is recording between 2.5 and 3.5 hours. So the cameras can record on motion activity. You can have them just start and stop clips, but an average user, whether it's law enforcement or other applications, is really not going to be recording more than 3 hours. It's usually going to be under 3, in most cases under 2 hours of total one-day recording, and then those devices are then uploaded to the secure file structure as well. So happy to talk through any other questions or comments about storage, but we really want you to walk away with understanding that a full solution is available, that is compatible within an ecosystem of different third-party analytics and software programs. So you can get scaled storage. You can get multiple ports and racks and docking stations together with a secure filing structure. So we have, if you are a dealer of SentryMobile camera technology, you will get a full spreadsheet with specifications and different categories of solutions that you can articulate and customize based on your end user's needs. So let's talk about secure chain of custody. We've kind of been talking about it in piecemeal all along the way today, but essentially users, both as a dash cam and as a body worn, are capturing the secure evidence on the device. Those are docked and securely uploaded to a central on-premise secure filing structure. They can also be sent to a CJIS compliant data center. They can be sent on-site for local retention, and they can be shared with third-party entities, a district attorney's office. And this is where it really gets interesting for us. We have the ability to share an open architecture body-worn database with any third-party video management solution. So think if you're a city surveillance and you have cameras on street corners, on buildings, and you want to look at body-worn cameras in a certain geographic area at a certain time. We can share our database interdepartmental with third-party platforms from different video management software providers. This chain of custody that you're seeing on the screen right now cannot change. There is nothing that is going to change this architecture. But what is unique and what differentiates our architecture from secure chain of custody from others is that there's a non-proprietary open backdoor that allows users to access the footage, share the footage within third-party software solutions. And so we have many announcements. We already have some betas out there with a variety of your favorite video management software companies. And please, feel free to come and ask us more questions about this. So for a few minutes before we're kind of drawing towards the conclusion, I want to talk to you a little bit about the business of body-worn cameras. So, for those 88% of you that are used to selling and using fixed video surveillance solutions, these are projects you have to install, you have to project manage, you have to plan. Body-worn cameras, yes, there's planning, yes, there's solution architecting, but it's nowhere near the size, shape, or feel of an enterprise-class video surveillance project. So inherently, salespeople will like these three words: shorter sales cycles. There is a high demand. In the next 2 years, I believe there will be an incredible emergence in non-law enforcement applications. We believe body-worn wearables is the future of video surveillance, period. And having a device that's secure, that can transmit evidence that is uninterrupted and has a process behind it, I think is an application that almost every vertical market will adopt at one point. I can't even begin to quantify the high demand that we're seeing in non-law enforcement applications. And the projections are, it's just such a new market that they're not even out yet. So we're seeing a high demand, and our philosophy is we want our company to be channelizing this. This is what we've done for a decade, is work through an independent channel of system integrators, distributors, and VARs to sell our products and solutions indirectly to the end user. Our other competitors are selling them direct. So that leaves out the integrator and the VAR from bringing the value that they can for long-term success. And we have a channel partner program with SentryMobile, and we highly encourage all dealers that want to get active to reach out to us to learn more about our channel partner program. We do have a lot of the fundamentals that you're used to and a lot of unique things. This is not a webinar about our channel partner program, but we are one of the first companies to actually channelize body-worn camera technology, and we're really excited to bring value and education to this market on that. And this is a technology that delivers a clear, calculable return on investment. If one claim was interrupted, any claim of a sexual harassment lawsuit or of a slip and fall or any other thing that you can think of in any vertical market